All right, welcome to workout B, Shapeshift 0.5. We're gonna be starting with a warm-up today, and we're gonna be going into our front punches. Here we go. We're basically just bringing our arms across our body, twisting through our core, getting the upper body warmed up here for 30 seconds. Crisscross. Try and twist the body. Look at each wall beside you as you go if you don't get too dizzy. Thirty seconds here. And 3, 2, 1. Taking it to the side. You're going to see a lot of these side lunges in my program because, again, the most important thing is breaking up the tighter areas of our body, which just happen to be our adductor muscles. So side to side here, go as wide as you can. Warming up the quads as well, warming up the knees, warming up the adductor muscles, warming up the glutes as well. Back and forth here. In 3, 2, and 1. We're going to be going into a cross tap. Looks like this. Warming up our shoulders. Also warming up our ankles. As our toes come out to the side to tap, this is warming up our ankles, getting them ready for movement. Warming up the calves as well. A few seconds here. And 3, 2, and 1. We're going to be doing some toe touches. Stretching out those hamstrings. They might be feeling tight if you've done workout A. Now we're going into workout B. Working different muscle groups today. That's the thing, we have to make sure we keep our workouts balanced. Working our muscles evenly throughout the week, all our different muscle groups. 1 to 2 times each week. You have to hit everything. So you can make progress with your goals that you can see each week. Last one right here. We're going to be going right into our workout. So our first one is we're going to be doing a little bit of movement here just to keep the body moving. We're going to be going into a step jack. So it's not a jumping jack, it's a step jack. These are great to do if you cannot jump. We're doing these for 30 seconds. Everything that we do here is 30 seconds, 30-second circuits. Moving from one exercise to the next, keeping the body moving, steady state. Building lean muscle mass, which helps to boost the metabolism. A few more seconds here. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so the easiest row you can do is from a chair. So what you're gonna do is you got your knee on the chair, your hand is on the back of the chair, you're leaned over the chair, and you're gonna be pulling up with the weight and back down. Making sure that your knee is under your hip and your foot is also underneath your body. 30 seconds per side. Nice and slow, activating muscles, activating the back muscles, strengthening the rhomboids, which help to keep our back straight. One more rep here, and we're switching sides. So we're gonna move to the other side of the chair and continue there with our chair row. Make sure everything is stable. You might have to shuffle around a little bit until you feel like you're in the right position, like you feel stable enough. Nice slow reps. Working the back muscles, creating a nice strong back for good posture. Few seconds here. And last rep. Our next move is going to be chair squats. Why we do squats from a chair? We're making sure that we're training the proper squat form. As you can see, my legs are 90 degrees. My knees are right over top of my ankles, I have a nice wide stance here as well, a little bit wider than my hips. When I drive up into my standing position, like this, come back down to the chair. Most of my weight is in my heels. This helps to activate the back of the leg muscles, helps to also create the muscles needed for a proper squat. When we decide to move away from the chair later, we will have the proper muscle group strengthened so that we can actually hold our squat in the proper form. So we're only 30 seconds here. Couple reps left. One more rep here. Holding our weight at our chest, obviously. Bring our weight back down to the floor, then we're gonna be working our chest. So we're gonna be grabbing some weights here. If we have a bench, it's perfect. You can do these from the floor if you don't have a bench. You can also do them from a stability ball as well. So we're bringing the weights up to our hips, laying back, making sure we can rest our head on the bench, opening up the chest here, and here we go into our chest press, up and back down. Nice and slow movements to activate the muscles properly. We don't want to continue going down the cardio road. So if you've been on the cardio train for a long time, it's time to step away from that and go into doing heavier resistance training movements to create the lean mass so that you can burn more calories at rest. Nice and slow here, 30 seconds. Last rep coming up here. When you bring the weights down, fold them in, bring them to your hips. We got a little bit of core work here to come on up and bring the weights to the floor. And we're taking a little bit of a 30-second break. Grab a sip of water. And we're gonna be going right back into our step jacks. Here we go. A little bit of a cardio interval here. Getting the body moving, up and down, side to side. These are called step jacks. If you can do jumping jacks, go ahead. Go ahead and do the jumping jacks if you want to. If you're able to, I would say if you can do it, but it's not required for this workout. And 3, 2, and 1. We're going back into our row here from our chair. Now you can do a different row. I'm gonna step back to the bench here. If you do have a bench at home, you can do a bench row instead of a chair, which means your hand is under your shoulder, your knee is under your hip, your back is straight, your foot is actually in alignment as well underneath your hips. And this is what the single arm row looks like. Nice slow reps here. And we want to make sure we regulate our breathing. So with this workout, we're doing a bit more strength training. Yesterday's was a bit more movement. We want to make sure that we're breathing at the right time. We breathe on the effort, breathe in on the effort, breathe out on the return. The effort here is the row, it's the pull up, it's the pull. So we're going to breathe out on the pull, breathe in on the return, and we're going to be switching sides. Other side we're going to be working here. Get your form ready and go right into the movement. Make sure your back is nice and straight. Hand is underneath your shoulders. Your knee, your foot is under your knee, which all should be under your hips or within that region. Breathing out on the effort, breathing in on the return. So we're out and in. Couple more reps left. And we're good there. All right, after the row, we're gonna be doing our bench squat from a chair. Okay, setting our legs 90 degrees, ankles under the knees, feet out a bit wider than the hips. Putting our weight, if we're using weight at our chest, you don't have to use weight. You can do body weight if you like, and go ahead there, pushing up from the heels and back down. What we want to do is make sure, you might feel like you're gonna fall back, but we do have the chair to catch us. But the reason for that is that we do need to be able to hold a squat form eventually on our own in midair. And unfortunately, a lot of the muscles in our back legs are underactive. It's quite common. So we need to do the proper training that we can build up the back of the legs so we can then move into doing proper squat form. Last rep right here, back down. Great, put the weight down on the floor. Moving into our chest press for 30 seconds. You can do this from a stability ball or a bench or the floor. Leaning back, opening up the weights, and going right in to our reps. Above the shoulders, back down. Make sure the weights stay above the chest. Be careful that you don't have the weights above the neck or the face. If you see that, bring them back over the chest. If you feel winded or out of breath, slow down the reps. It might be that your reps are going too fast, and we need to slow them down a little bit more so we can activate more muscular endurance rather than cardiovascular endurance to start with. Cardio is great, but we do need to make sure that strength training is our #1 priority. Last rep here, bringing it down to the hips, bring it up and to the floor. Grab a sip of water. We're going into set 3. And here we go, back into step jacks. It's just steady state. If you feel like you need to catch your breath, go super slow with this move. This is almost like a little bit of a movement station, a little bit of a cardio interval. You can go as fast or as slow as you need to, based on how hard that set that you just completed was. It's important that we just keep the body moving to build endurance. Definitely need to if we're gonna move on to our 1.0, 2.0 series, and our 3.0 and 4.0, we wanna make sure we build the endurance up so we can handle what's coming up in the next series. 3, 2, and 1, going into the row. I'm gonna go back into the bench row. If you do have a bench, it's a great place to do the single arm row. And here we go, right into the row, keeping the back straight. Hands are under the shoulders. Nice slow reps, creating strength, keeping your back nice and straight. Make adjustments as needed. "30-second circuits, that's all we're doing. Few seconds left here on this side already. Last rep on this side, and switching over to the other side. I'm just gonna switch over to the other side of the bench. It's a lot easier here for me to do it this way, and go ahead. Breathe out on the row, breathe in on the return. Few more reps here. Your reps should be about 3 seconds each. And last rep here, good. Bringing our weight over to our chair for our chair squats or bench squats. If you have a high enough bench, you can use a bench for this. A lot of workout benches range in height, so just kind of make sure that you can keep that your legs are at a 90-degree angle, at least. All right, here we go, 90 degrees, weight through the heels, weight at the chest, and go ahead. Nice and slow. Add a little bit of weight. Make sure you properly activate the muscles. And you're gonna be sticking your butt out behind you to sit back on that chair. That's exactly what you want. And you wanna feel like you're gonna fall over. Obviously, you're not gonna fall over because you're gonna have your chair behind you, but that is the way to properly activate the muscles through the back of the legs. Last rep right here. And there we go, coming down carefully, weight to the floor. Going back into our chest press. We're wrapping up set 3 here. Grabbing our weights, laying down on the bench nice and slow. Make adjustments as needed. Go ahead, 30 seconds here into chest press. Nice slow reps. Back down here. If the weights are feeling too easy, which can kind of cause us to want to do faster reps, if that's all you have for weights, you can do faster reps. But if you can add a heavier weight, eventually I would do that, because the idea is that we need to be working on getting stronger each week. So if something's too easy, we need to make sure that we up the weight so that our muscles are challenged enough to activate properly. Almost there. Last rep here, up, bring it down, fold it in, bring it up to the floor. Taking a drink of water, hydrate. Here we are, we're going into our step jacks. The idea is we're doing steady state. We keep the body moving for all 4 sets, but always too, if you do need a break, just take one. Just sit out for a few seconds until you feel like you've caught your breath, you feel rested, and then jump back in when you're ready. It's always best to do that than injure yourself. You want to train smart. Always smarter, not harder. Be smart about your training. Don't waste all your energy up in one day. You have to spread it out throughout the week. In order for you to stay consistent, you need to train at a consistent intensity level. And 2, and 1. We're going back to our rows. This is our last set, by the way. We're setting up for our bench row here. And 30 seconds. Here we go. Nice slow reps. Make sure our back is nice and straight. Hands are under the shoulders. Nice slow reps. Almost there. Last rep here before we change sides. We're going to be bringing the weight to the other side here. Swing it up onto the bench, back down to the floor. Reposition yourself, and as soon as you're ready, go ahead. Focus on the breathing. Focus on what the muscles feel like under tension. Where are you feeling your workouts? Is one side stronger than the other? If that's the case, go with the weight that you use on your weakest side. You don't want to create further imbalance in your body. You want to make sure you balance it out. Always keep the weights even. And we're going into our last rep right here. Great. All right, we're going to bring the weight up here. We're going back into our chair squats. Here we go. 90 degrees in the feet. Wide stance. Toes are out just a little bit, not too far though. Just a tiny bit. Here we are, driving up from the heels and sitting back down. Nice and controlled. We want to make sure when we sit down, we go a bit slower. Make sure that we're doing our proper negative contraction. It's not always about the effort going up. It's also about the control coming down. And both of them work together, the positive and the negative. Keeping an eye on my timer here. A few more seconds. We're almost done. We're only at 20-minute workout here, ladies. 20 minutes. That's all it takes. 20 minutes doing the proper stuff. Last rep here. Bring it back down. Weight to the floor. Last move right here, chest press. Here we go. You're doing fantastic. Grab our weights, lay on our chest, open it up, make some adjustments. Here we go. Weights beside the chest, all the way down, all the way up. all the way down, all the way up. Another important rule for doing strength training is never cut the rep short. Always get the deepest stretch you can possibly get. The bigger the range of motion, the better the results you're going to get. So check in with your depth. Gotta go deep, nice deep big reps. If you feel like that weight then is too heavy to create that full range of motion, you need to go a bit lighter and work on that range before you can up your weights. Almost there. A few more seconds. Breathing out on the push, in on the return. Bring it in to the chest, bring it up. All right. Grab a sip of water. Stay hydrated. All right. Good work. You just completed workout B, Shapeshift 0.5 series. We're going to be going into our cool down, of course. Back and forth, lateral lunge. Get those stretches going in those inner legs. Side to side here. Make sure that your legs are wide enough so that your knees don't go past your feet. Okay, if that's happening, take a step out, go a bit deeper and hold. And up, a bit deeper and hold. Great. Forward fold stretch, reaching out in front of you. We're gonna be hinging at the hips, very important. Hinge at the hips, stretch out those hamstrings if they're tight. Also as well, when we hold our hands out in front of us, we're strengthening our back. This is a back hold here. So it's perfect for strengthening the back without weights. Bring it down to the floor for a nice stretch. I'm gonna turn around here, front view again. We're gonna sweep to the side. Sweep to the side, feel that stretch across the back of that leg. We're going into triangle pose. You can do triangle from your ankle or your knee. So please make sure that you make the best decision for your range of motion. Okay, if you can't go all the way down to the ankle, come up to the knee, do your triangle from there. Pull back there for a chest stretch. Inhale, exhale. If you can do it from the ankle, do it from the ankle. Bring it down to the floor, sweep it across. Same thing on the other side. Go for your triangle pose and make adjustments as needed. Knee or ankle, whatever you can do there. Bring that arm back for a bit of a chest stretch. Inhale, exhale. And bring it back down to the floor. Sweep it into the middle. Curl it up nice and slow. Nice and slow there. And bring it back into a chest stretch. We did our chest presses, so we want to make sure we stretch our chest out to the back here. Inhale, exhale. When you inhale, it also helps to expand the chest. You get a greater stretch when you add your breathing in with your stretching. Great, and then we're going to be doing some shoulder stretch. Bring the arm across the front of the body. Pull and hold. Nice gentle stretch across the back of the shoulder there. And switching arms. Nice gentle stretch there. Loosening up the shoulders. And we're going to do one more above the head tricep. Bend that arm back behind your head. A gentle tug on the elbow, stretching those triceps. Holding for a few seconds. Inhale, exhale, and switch arms. Same thing on the other side. Gentle tug, stretch that tricep. And we're good. Great work. You've just completed workout B, 0.5 Shapeshift workout series.